Hey everybody, it's Bob Phibbs, the retail doc. You have joined me live on Sunday, December 12th, and it's 9 a.m. Wherever you are in the world, do me a favor and type in where you're joining from and ideally what you sell. And if you want a bonus prize, tell me whether it's better to be naughty or nice. Yeah, there's no wrong answers. So whatever you decide, that's there. I missed our Sunday mornings and I wanted to share a story with you today. Many of you know that I traveled all the way to Dubai this last week and keynoted the Middle East Shopping Center Council event last Tuesday. And I'm going to share a story about that. But the reason I wanted to share this story is so that you take something from it in the next 2 weeks. That's why I'm doing it. Mike, hey, dude, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. I would love to have all of you. Make sure you go through, give me some thumbs up, give me some hearts, whatever you are on LinkedIn. You can give me applause and all that kind of stuff. But Roger is live in Utah today. Great, excellent. Terry from Talbot's nice, and Ali from Dublin, fabulous. So I want to just share with you the idea, and then I'll unpack the story, and then I'll take any questions afterwards. Fair enough. Good to hear. Hey, Richard, glad you joined me last week as well. So I want you to just to think that before you approach any situation, a shopper, a customer problem, an employee, whatever, I just want you to get the attitude of, I bet I can help them, or I bet I can fix this. And just make sure you hold that in your heart because right now I think we are in the age of people being easily irate. And I found myself being one of those, and I'm going to unpack the event and I want to show you how things happen so that you can understand from the customer's viewpoint how you could make it better. Does that sound like a good place for us to start today? I hope so, because that's what I'm talking about. And hey, I'm glad you're here. A Little Rock, thank you. Titus from Louisiana, Cara, bonjour from Montreal, from Colombia. Wow, we got everybody here today. And Joseph, thanks for joining me as well. And again, if you're just joining me, type in where you're from and let me know that you are enjoying the broadcast at any point. So, as I told you, got this gig back in October, and I'm thinking this is great, international travel. It's fabulous, and I go to get my passport, and I'm like, oh, good, it's good till January. That's fine. And as I start to make reservations and everything, it's like, oh no, Dubai passports your passport has to be good for 6 months to go international now. It's like, oh, no big deal. Oh, I guess I can't mail it in. I've got like a month from now. So I call the National Passport Office. They say, oh, when are you flying? December 3rd. You can't talk to us to at least 2 weeks before. I can't make an appointment? No, that's it. Oh, okay. So 2 weeks before, I call, I make the appointment. We only have one. It's on that same day on December 3rd at 9:30 in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. I go, don't you have anything in New York? Sir, it's either that or Hawaii. Uh, okay, I'll take it. So I decide I'll drive Thursday night and I'll get there. And then the news of Omicron or whatever the hell it is, and the whole world's going to shut down, and you're going to have to pass a vaccine test to get out. I mean, a COVID test to get out and to get back in. So stress is coming up, and it's Portsmouth is 5 hours north of me, and then it's 6 hours south to Newark. So it's like, all right, we could do this. So I find out that where I'm going, and drive there on Thursday night. Friday morning, I'm there with my passport. I get there an hour early. I get there at 8:30 instead of 9:30. No one there except so I go. I give the woman my stuff, and she goes, "Okay, well, come back at 2." And I went, "What?" And she goes, "Well, just come back at 2." I go, "They told me I could wait." She goes, "Oh, well, sir, we don't promise that." I go, "They said it on the thing." "Well, you're flying out of Boston, aren't you?" I go, "No, I'm flying out of Newark in 6 hours. I have to take a COVID test at 4 for a 8 o'clock flight." This other woman hears her. They mumbled her. And I go, "I can't wait till 2 o'clock." And she goes, "Well, we'll try to get it sooner. She's going to walk it up. Give us your phone number." And I go, "Well, I'll wait here." She goes, "No, it'll probably be a while. You probably want to just wait in your car, or go get something to drink." I go back to my car. I'm freaking out. It's like, if this falls, the whole trip falls, right? So I'm in my car. 15 minutes later, you can pick up your passport. Like, really? We went through all that crap for 15 versus 5, 6 hours? Are you kidding me? So, yay, I get in the car, I drive down to Newark. I get to Newark at 3. Awesome. I take I'm there early for my COVID appointment. I take it. And of course, I'm negative. Yay. Vaccinated 3 times. I would certainly hope so. And I go upstairs to click into business class in United because that's the way I fly at international. Lot of lines. I go to this one place and I tell this woman I'm checking in. I need to verify my COVID. And then she goes, she has something on her neck. She goes, scan this. So I scan it and then she goes back to someone else and I scan it. It's all in Arabic. I'm like, what the hell is this? I go, I don't know what this is. She goes, well, do you have your COVID test? She goes, yeah, well, just scan that in. I go, it doesn't work like that. I can't do it. She goes, well, then you got the wrong COVID test. At that point, I just went, what? Fairly loud. She goes, "You cannot yell at me, sir." I said, "I just took the COVID test that United said I had to take down below. This is the test. This is it." She goes, "Well, I don't know what to tell you." I go, "I'll tell you what you got to tell you. You're going to call a supervisor and get me on that plane. This is ridiculous." Nasty Bob is not a pleasant guy, doesn't use all the stuff that he knows he should be using when he's talking to people. She got on the phone, talked to a supervisor. I got on the plane. Now, why do I share both of those stories about Passport and United? Because I will admit, I wish I didn't, well, I wasn't like some raving man, but I know I raised my voice. That could have easily been solved if she started from, I can help this guy. If you just confirm, this is what I'm hearing, this is how I fit into the program, this is what I can do for him, great. And then you finish up by saying, well, let's get you on that flight, or, oh, let's get you your passport, right? But we're in this place where we are all doing the best we can. And I get all of it and I get it. But sometimes I think we approach the situation when we are in service to someone to get rid of them or to minimally help instead of just focus. And why am I sharing this with you who are retailers in the middle of the holiday season? Because I think this could happen to you as well with an um, just not an unconsidered response to somebody this holiday season is just realize we're all trying to do the best we can. I get it. But there's something that we are feeling invalidated already, right? That there's so many uncertainties going on that it's easier for us. And yes, I apologized to the woman for raising my voice. And she goes, well, it's really, I said, it's really stressful to travel. She goes, it's really stressful for all of us. But I thought if nobody had helped her realize you made this happen, if you would have just said, oh, well, let's find out the right one to do. None of that would have happened. She wouldn't feel, but how many times is she doing that to other people? Here, scan this, doesn't work. Oh, well, I guess you got the wrong thing. Get the hell out of my way. So I want you to be thinking, yeah, right, exactly, Richard. Some people seem to want some kind of a confrontation, but I think that affirmation that I'm here to help is something you have to believe in your heart, because I'm seeing it when I go into all kinds of areas that there are people who totally get it. I had an hour with a concierge in Dubai. The guy was just really polite and helped me understand. And like, I didn't understand several things. It's like, oh, well, this is how it works, right? Now you pay for that service. But even in hotels or restaurants or in retail, the person who can go through and see what it's like to be a customer is the one that gets more sales. It's that simple. And yeah, exactly. I love that, Titus. Take ownership and show you care. But you're going to have to teach that, is where I'm going, because what I saw were people who were untrained and nobody said, we could stop this from happening if instead of saying, we'll see you at 2 o'clock, because the worst thing was I pick up my passport and I hear another young guy, he's probably 20 years old. And the same woman says, well, we'll have it ready at 2. And the guy does the exact same thing. What? They said, I couldn't wait for it. And I just found myself like, is this a sick game we're playing with people? But why not just say, where are you flying out of? How soon do you need this? Oh, I need this soon because I'm flying to New York. Oh, well, great. We'll get you on your way. Wouldn't that have been a nicer way to start a journey? Because all of the things that go into whatever we're doing out in public right now, I love hearing people say, "Oh, it's all changed." Well, what's changed is our hearts have gotten harder, and that's really hard for us. So one of the things I always do when I travel is to always make sure when I see people taking pictures that I say, "Would you both like to be in the picture?" and try to offer that and just say, "Is that a way I can give back to the world?" it's that same attitude of I can help you. It's that same attitude of, oh, let's fix this together. We can do this, right? So that's really what my big idea is with you today, is to figure out what is the yes answer, and to realize that when those customer service experiences happen to the customer, it really tarnishes your brand, because ultimately I got my way in both ways, and it wasn't anything that I had to do. Both of them could fix it. And they could have been the hero, and I would have been raving like amazing, instead of talking about them for 10 minutes this morning, and how awful they were. But it's a training issue, because if you aren't looking at the interactions your crew is doing to customers, oh, well, Jane asked for the loyalty points. That she did a great job. It's like, that's not the job. That's not the job. The job is, can you go through and make them a raving fan? And it's going to be in those little moments where they interact with somebody. I told the story in a blog earlier this month, where I had gone into an Abercrombie and Fitch, and a buddy of mine was looking for some T-shirts, and he asked this woman, "Oh, do you have this in a large?" And she came over and looked at the exact same pile that she saw us look through, and she goes, "Oh, well, I don't know. We'll have to look in the back." And I just happened to look over to the other table, and there's another stack of them. And while she's doing that, I just picked it out. I mean, wouldn't you just? The goal is to realize that the guy was there. You watched him go through that. Maybe he did his job, and maybe that was somewhere else in the store. But to not come forward with the training and say, all right, so let's just look at that last interaction. Did you see how curt you were? You said, we can't. You said, no. If you're a furniture retailer, you know that I've been saying for the last year, keep the expectations really long, right? So if somebody wants a sofa, a couch, a dinette set, and it's going to be 8 weeks, tell them it's 12, and just really push the damper on them and say, this is going to take a long time. I need you to sign that it's going to be a long time. But there's still people that say, oh, well, I don't know, might come in 3. So you build that hope up, and then you dash it. Instead, set the expectation it's going to be long, and then you can be the hero and say, oh my gosh, it came in 4. Unlike the passport woman, who very well knew that they could get my passport in 15 minutes. She just gave herself an extra 6 hours for some unnatural reason. I don't know. So there you go. Uh, Oh, I love that, Richard. There was a company that did motor spares, and the strap line was, the answer is yes. Now, what's the question? I love that. I love that. Matthew, more than a few service misses yesterday. But see, I don't hold the employees account. I don't hold that to the employees. I put that on whoever is training and hiring these people, because let's get the other story out. The big news of the week was that Starbucks had a union in Buffalo. And I was reading, there's actually a dollar store in Connecticut. There was a story about a dollar store trying to be unionized, and then I guess they closed the store. But you know what? One of the biggest reasons they say that is training. I was at a Starbucks not that long ago, and this young woman it was like the world's slowest Starbucks, but they must have had 7 people behind the counter. And the woman at the register had a cheat sheet like that big, of all the drinks with the abbreviations on them. And I thought, who the hell is this? Starbucks used to be known for training. And that's one of the things they said at Buffalo. We're not being trained. So when people tell me, oh, our employees are trained, are they really? Because customer escalation training is really important, of saying, I can be empathic. I can feel empathy for what it would be like to be a traveler, somebody come into retail, someone who is taking care of a parent at home, someone whose kids are on Zoom calls all day, and realize the potential is they could go off. But a lot of times I'm the trigger. That's the hard thing. If you like what I have to say, do me a favor, give me some thumbs up, give me some love. I need to know you're out there. I need to know you're here. Fair enough. Uh, uh, oh, see, Candace, I love that story. A customer came with a toy that didn't work amid a store full of customers. I took the time to open a new one and make sure it worked. It did. Exactly, Candace. I think that gets a applause from me. But again, you're the owner. So I would expect you to do that. And I can imagine that other employees might say, oh, well, you're not allowed to, or something. But you hit it, Candace, which is, How do I not be a disappointment that this person could go home and it doesn't work again? That's a very real thing that the customer would feel. Bravo to you. Steve, example of lack of training with a shirt example. It's all about training. It's like if you just start from, well, I'm sure the answer's here instead of this guy's probably stupid. He probably didn't see what a large looks like because it's got a sticker on every shirt here and it's in the label. He probably just didn't see it instead of like, wonder if we have them somewhere. Oh, right. So there you go. If you have any questions for me, do me a favor. You can type them in today because I'm here. I'm here live with you. And I'm hoping I can be here again a couple more times this month. I know it's a tough month for all of you. So there's Titus. Yeah, absolutely upfront affirmation that you can assist. That's the key. That's the key for all of it. So if you have a question, you can certainly let me know. I am here. Hey, Cynthia, glad you're here from Virginia. Patrick. Okay, so Patrick refers to me as Uncle Bob. He's on my Sales RX sales online sales training program, and I said I don't like that because it just sounds like yeah. So, but he has to keep calling me that. Thanks very much for that. So, if you have a question for me, ask me a question right now because I am here. Oh, I love that, Richard. I want everyone to leave my store happier when they came in. But see, this is the perspective of owners. This is the perspective of owners. You're only as good as your part-time employee executes on the floor. So if they don't know what those criteria look like, and the example I always use when I'm training is tell them this is what success looks like, right? Because I can say I want everyone to leave our store happier than when they came in, but what does that look like? One of our sales RX customers, the owner says, I expect my employees to deliver a wow experience. And I go, yeah, well, that sounds great. Everyone says that, but how do you tell? He goes, oh, on Saturday afternoons, I stay around the front doors of my store for an hour and just listen. And I better hear somebody say, wow, that was an amazing experience. It's like, wow. I mean, that was wow all around because he would do that. But more importantly, he's executing. See, this is where most people miss. You tell people what to do and then you're like, okay, got it, done. Okay, I'm done training, I'm done holding them accountable, good luck. And then they pat themselves in the back. Oh, our employee training is great. And then you do a quick Google search and you're like, dude, you have a 2-star review, you're horrible. Oh, that's just a few disgruntled people. No, start from, if that many people is saying that to get you 2 stars in this world of happy stars, fives and tens, what's going on here? But a lot of us don't want to look at that because that's a little scary, right? Because who's responsible for that? Oh, right. Look in the mirror. It's you, right? And I'm all about that. I think that we can make the world a better place by the people working and shopping in retail, but it is a relentless execution. I call it being brilliant on the basics. Oh, yeah, and I agree with that too, Titus. It starts with talent selection. It's not that they can work the shift, it's are they trainable and are they curious about learning more? If they are, then I think you have a winning team, and I've got a lot of accounts that are having amazing success. One of our biggest sales RX customers, they had typically over a Black Friday weekend, they might do $1 million. They did almost 4 and said, it just comes down to now how high is up. That's what I want for all of you. So there you go. Matthew, what's my answer for the labor shortage? Well, it is the labor shortage. And the reality is that those who are providing a great place to work are usually not seeing those signs that say, um, please put in an application. I've seen great managers who are out there actually talking to people on the floor who are actually passing out a little thing if you know anyone that could use extra shifts. But, in 12, we're on December 12th, too late to be hiring people. You're it. That's it. I've seen other people who have gone through and retail stores who have enlisted their friends and family to help with warehouse and basic things like that, that they can go through and get product at least from one place to the other or priced and not use their better employees for that. I think the smart people are finding a way through it, but nobody wants to hear, oh, it's hard to get good help. We're short staffed. Everyone's short staffed. And if you're trying to bring the irate out of people, that's the way to do it. Like, it's not our fault. You know, then you wait 5 people, and the speed of service is determined by the number of people on your sales floor. Does that make sense? So if it's just me and you, I can spend a half hour with you telling about all the wonderful world of power tools, let's say. But if there's 10 people in the store and it's just me and somebody else, well, you know what? I'm going to have to hit it multiple people quickly and make sure everybody is greeted. and be able to add something to every conversation. But that's a learned skill, and that's not something most people ever taught. Look, the labor shortage is real. It's not going to go away. Baby boomers got out of the workforce. They decided they don't want to be in it, especially with COVID, et cetera, et cetera. And the young people are not coming in. They're doing all kinds of things to build their own individual brands. We're hearing all this great resignation. People decide to get their own jobs. You know what? I think you're going to find in 6 months, a lot of these people who decided that they were going to go out on their own are going to be back looking for a job, because the grass has been poised as it's so much greener when you're your own boss. I can tell you, as an entrepreneur of 35 years, I have the skill to be here at 5:30 in the morning every day, Monday through Friday, and to be off work at 5, and I'm answering my emails, etc. Most of the world does not have that discipline for routine. So even if you're losing people now, I think that a lot of people have a hard reality check when they realize that, yeah, you could maybe do a few things, but to actually bring home a consistent paycheck and have money to live the life you want, you're probably going to be working for someone else. So just be gracious when they do return. How's that? Rose, any great ideas for increasing holiday sales this holiday season? Rose, there's a very easy question you ask everybody from here on out. Ready? Are you ready for this? You guys give me some thumbs up. Let me know you're ready for this. I'm about to give you the whole secret because you are here with me for 21 minutes. It's really simple. Are you ready? Give me a thumbs up. You got to give me a thumbs up here in the comments. All right? Thumbs up. Who else is on your list? So I've gone through, I've gotten all my stuff. I'm up at the counter. You never go behind the counter until the customer does, by the way. Amateur work if you do that. And then they go, okay, I think that's about it. And you go like, who else is on your list? And you'll see them look up and to the left to this imaginary list that they've got. And they go, oh, well, I need some of my grandmother. It's like, oh, well, try me. What have you gotten her before? What is she like? I can guarantee you that is a big builder, but most people won't do that. In fact, 90% of you will go back to anything else. And then you're pretty much wrote off the customer and you're happy with it because you're so understaffed. And I'm saying this is a holiday. It is like no other. It is a once in a generation holiday. People are spending money on themselves, on their kids, on their friends. It's yours to lose. You only get one item. That is a total waste of your time. Everybody should be having at least three. If you're in an apparel store like Heidi, absolutely, you should be going through and be getting 2 or 3 items out, 2 or 3 for customer and 1 as a gift. And 2022 is going to be strong. We're expecting it to be strong probably until May, June of next year. Long about April, we're going to hear people suddenly realizing that child tax credit that they got is actually taxable income, and they're going to be a little freaked out that they're going to have to pay more. So I expect May to kind of fall back. And then June and July, of course, everything is possible. Who knows? But you can't keep having these price increases forever. And the supply chain can't continue to be totally broken forever. So there you go. What are you saying? Mike took some of your advice and made a great holiday experience for our clients. Many brought their pets, and we remember them too with candy cane treats. Like that. Nice, nice, nice. What do you Donna, we're experiencing heavier than normal in-store traffic, obviously short staff, so it's hard to help everyone like we do. What can we do to make those who don't get to spend a lot of time with feel that they're here to help? Well, the main thing, Donna, is if you just say good morning, good afternoon to every single person. If you did nothing else than that, that will go leagues ahead of whatever failings you might have. And if you do have to leave somebody, you say, excuse me, may I, can you excuse me for a minute? I need to go greet that customer. Most reasonable people will say yes. And then you just simply go over, good morning, feel free to look around, and I'll be right back. That's simple. But if you just say that to everybody, that makes a difference. And I know people are like, but we have so many people. It doesn't matter. That's the job. Because if you just start from welcome to our house, right? You're coming shopping with friends. You're coming shopping with family. If we just like, oh, welcome, Jane. Feel free to look around and I'll be right back. You don't have to say someone will be with you. That sounds terrible. Just start off from that idea that, oh, we can fix this. I'm here to help, right? But don't say that. I'm here to help. I'll be right back. And even if you're not right back, at least the intention you're putting out into the sale is, I'm here for you without saying something like that, right? Oh, so true. I am so with you, Steve. We've got to get away from the supply chain excuse. Exactly. If I hear that one more time, there's 90 containers off of Long Beach Harbor. Why do you care? Why are you sharing that with your customer? Do I give a damn? No. I want this pen in blue. Do you have it in blue? No. Oh, well, it'll still work really well with black. How about we take the black one? Oh, okay, great. But we don't do that. Guy comes in, I want this widget. Do you have this widget? No. Oh, retail's a game of saying yes. I don't think we have that, but would you be interested in something similar or better? Sure, because all the customer wants is help me get this gift buying thing out of the way, or help me treat myself, or help me spend money because I define myself by things, which could be me, could be any number of you. Fair enough. Yep. Who else is on your list? It's that simple, Heidi. That's exactly it. Uh, Oh, very true, Titus. Titus, you got some good comments today. Yeah, I appreciate that because younger people always have to explain why, and then you get their buy-in. That is so true. I love that. I love that. Grace, can you make a comparison of customers in the U.S. and the world? I don't know that there's an answer to that. I can tell you that I went when I was in Frankfurt this last week, and I wanted to get a stolen. I couldn't get a more curt answer from this person than uh, it would be bad in America and bad in Europe. And I can tell you, I found some of the most open and welcoming people in Dubai and in New York City. So I don't think it's a continent thing. I think it's a training thing, and I think it's either you hire people who enjoy other people or people who really don't like people are telling themselves they can work retail, and I can guarantee you it's not. And I think what we're going to see in the coming years, those of you who are still hanging on with me for 26 minutes, I love that. I think what we're going to see is there will be less stores, and the customer service salesperson, whatever you want to call it, some people, afraid of calling them salespeople, will be elevated because it will be a position of someone who can use psychology and understands there's a process to selling, just like we elevate a writer, a screenwriter, or book writer, or a elite athlete or musician. It's the same idea. If you know how to play the game, a world of Derek Jeters or Eric Clapton's is certainly going to be or Anne Rice, who have just passed away the other last night. People who really understand how it all works together are going to be put a premium on, and we're going to get rid of the idea of retail workers are disposable, which I've never believed, and that's probably why I've had great crews because I always think they're the ones that are going to make me money and ultimately make them money. So fair enough, you know what I mean? Ray says I own a high-end dress shop, and since the pandemic worked by appointment only, game changer. Yeah, I imagine it does. I really don't need extra employees time. What are your thoughts on this moving forward through my busy season starting January? I will tell you, Ray, that you can do the work of two people, but you can't be two people. So I think a lot of people have been kidding themselves that what they're doing as the owner is acceptable. What I try to get you to see is the owner's job is to look for new opportunities and get the hell off the sales floor and manage the team and the processes so that you can live the life you live. You want to live. I think too many retailers define themselves by how busy they are and then tell the world how busy they are. And then they seem miserable people who really hate working retail. And it's like, well, you're acting like you're being paid 210 an hour. And maybe you are. And if you're being paid 210 an hour, a lot of times that comes because you haven't added enough crew and you're trying to do all this stuff yourself and you don't have support and a running buddy. And it's really hard. So there you go. Oh, I love that, David. David's a frame shop, and they make their own supply chain. This is our year for custom work. I love that. I love that. I love that. Well, if you have any other questions, I'm going to look through here to very quickly see if there's anything I can answer to you. I love the Derek Cheater reference. Yeah, great. Okay, so whoever you don't have a name on here, unfortunately. Gen Y does not need new ideas of getting training. This is one of the biggest fallacies that's going out there. My online training, Sales RX, which we use for baby boomers all the way down to Gen Z and Y, etc., all like short training, 3 to 5 minutes. It's actionable, and then they have mock sessions afterwards where they're able to actually implement what they're supposed to be learning and before they ever go on the floor. As long as you're holding them accountable, everyone learns that way. It's like saying, "Oh, well, people learn, the younger generation learns differently how to ride a bike." No, they don't. You have to put training wheels on them. You have to make it comfortable. You have to know that they can succeed. And then when they show you enough, you take off the training wheels and you're with them and they go on. Learning is not that difficult. Look at how somebody learns to play piano or play a sport, as I said before, or learns how to write or any number of things. It's a skill. And so this idea that they're so different, no, what the difference is that Gen Z in particular is the most curious and the most hopeful. But you better give them the why, and it's not that we need to make more money. One of the ways we suggest starting a training program like Sales RX is to understand you're going to enjoy your job better, and the skills you're going to learn through this program you're going to be able to use anywhere, whatever you decide to do, whether you're with us for 3 months or 3 years. And that's like, oh, great. And then they write me back and say, oh, many years ago, I took Sales RX and that helped me with my marketing firm, or when I decided to be an entrepreneur or whatever. It's the soft skills no one's teaching. Retailers right now seem over concerned that someone's going to know that Reebok uh, sneaker has X, Y, and Z in it, which is stuff I can learn online. What they can't do is compare and contrast. What they can't do is to be able to show why one brand is different than another. Not better, different. And then being so laser focused on the customer that they realize, oh, I should be trying to get two pair out the door, or the socks with the shoes, because all footwear feels better with new socks. I'm an old shoe dog. That's why I started, put myself through college. But we don't train that anymore. It's get them out of the way, which brings me all the way back to what I said at the beginning. If you just start from, I bet we can help them, I think you have a much stronger holiday season. So I hope you like that. I hope that gives you value. Please, if you like what I had to say, type in here. What did you learn today? What did you learn? What's one thing you took from spending 32 minutes with me? Put it in the comments here. I read every single one and I answer them. And let's make sure that you get your share of this once in a generation holiday season. I'm Bob Phibbs, the Retail Doc. Thanks again for joining me.